allow me to be the one to break the silence. Hello, YouTube. This is the new tone of the former critics. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why? It's because you let our Pirates of the Caribbean video flop. And the message that that sends to us as former critics is that you don't want us to be whimsical. You don't want us to be funny. You don't want us to enjoy what we do. So from
True.
now on, this is a very dark, serious podcast where we cut straight to the chase. And we don't enjoy it, and neither do you, because that's what gets fucking views. In this day and age in 2024, in this dystopia that we call YouTube, this is what you get. Just kidding, by the way.
He's not. We are the former critics. I'm just kidding. We're the former critics, Welcome back.
Welcome.
Yeah. We're talking about all things entertainment. And today, specifically, we're talking about our guy, our god, literally the guy who saved civilization with his newest movie, not Twister. I'm just kidding. Just joking. M. Night Shyamalan, I've given him a round of applause. M. Night Shyamalan, come on down.
The year of the Watchers.
Right.
We're like on a game show, like suddenly. Come on down from where? Like he just like sits beside you.
Wait, did you see The Watchers, by the way?
I saw the Watchers. I didn't see Trap.
Right. Even though The
Which
Watchers wasn't him, he just produced it.
okay, it wasn't him. Explain why it wasn't him. I know it was his daughter on paper, but like how is the Watchers? How does it have the exact strengths and weaknesses of a typical M. Night Shyamalan movie? Genuinely, it feels like when your parent in sixth grade helps you with a project and then you turn it in with your name.
Right. And it is also one of the worst movies of the year, along with
wait,
also a new one.
Wait, did you see The Watchers?
Yep.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's one of the worst movies of the year. It sucks, but it's not that bad. It sucks in like a little like kind of like an adorable way where you're like, oh, M. Night Shyamalan's doing his thing.
Well, his daughter, but yeah, it's just we come to blows over the fact that it's his daughter directing.
I know. Well, I mean, did she? M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, come on down.
Yeah, it just turns into a pod about that.
Yeah, did she though?
Well, if he wants his name on that, then it's another dud. It's another flop.
Listen, the reason, I'm sorry, it has his exact style to it, positives, really good atmosphere, a seemingly good premise that just completely crumbles to pieces,
right.
But it starts out intriguing.
Yeah, no, I do agree with that. I thought they could have I thought they were going to go in a different direction, and I kind of wish they did.
Yeah, and then weaknesses. What I just said, it goes to shit about a third of the way through the movie and never recovers.
Right.
Just a complete nonsensical plot and character decisions and dialogue. I think that covers it. But what else is there to say? That's the thesis statement for this entire video.
I mean, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, so for today, we've each compiled our 3 favorite M. Night Shyamalan movies and our 3 least favorites, which gotta say was a little hard to narrow down.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
And you know what's crazy to me right now is I'm literally I've done nothing but shit on him since this video started, and yet I will still defend him. I'll still defend him. I'll still no matter
be seated for his movies.
No matter what he releases, even though I didn't see Trap, no matter what he releases, I will eventually make an effort to see. And that's because he has two movies that I genuinely consider 5 out of 5s, and I love. It's not the two you think.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
It's probably gonna be the last Airbender,
oh, shut the fuck up! Shut up!
Actually, I bet you I can guess both of them.
Wait, do it, but then blur it out in case it's a spoiler. Like beep yourself out.
Do
What
you
is
want
it?
me to?
Yeah, what is it?
Lady in the Water.
No, fuck you. It's not. It's not. Though I know why you think that.
Okay, then I don't know. I thought that's what you were gonna say.
Yeah,
Because you talked about that movie before.
I know. There is a version of me out there that would have said that at one point, but
Well,
I grew up, you know.
I mean, I picked some picks, and even my honorable mention, he's lucky I even put it as an honorable mention for my favorite.
All right, I feel like we are gonna fight depending on how this goes. Should we start with? Let's start with our bottom three because
It's
I'm ready to shit on all these. I'm ready to defend my top two to death. So
do you want to go with your first least favorite?
my least favorite or my third least favorite?
Well, I don't have them in any
I actually
particular order.
didn't like. How am I supposed to rank these? Like, they're all terrible. Okay.
Yeah,
Bad. Knock at the cabin.
yeah. I
On your bottom three.
It's an honorable mention for my bottom three because I have ones that I think
Yeah.
I hate more.
So, by the way, did not rewatch any of these movies in preparation.
Yeah,
This is
just with a grain
all
of
off the cuff, all off the cuff. But was I going to really? Was I going to? Did you want me to? I just watched Pirates 4 and 5. Okay, like
yeah,
how much can I really subject myself to?
and you
Anyway,
didn't even want to. We didn't even talk about those really.
I know. All right, Knock at the Cabin, directed by M. Night Shyamalan. I just go into like the Wikipedia page.
All
No,
right.
what do I even remember from this movie? I just remember within like genuinely within 3 seconds of this movie starting, just being so like, why is he filming it like this? And I don't if you recall, it begins with the daughter, like the good guy's daughter, who they're trying to keep alive for the entire movie,
Right.
meeting Dave Bautista in like the forest or whatever. And they
Yeah.
have just a really weird conversation written by aliens using Chat GPT to simulate dialogue. And I just remember like the camera like just dead on focusing on Dave Bautista, like perfectly symmetrical and centered.
Yeah.
And I just remember being like, why, what am I supposed to, I know I'm supposed to be getting something from this, but what? But what?
Is that I he just like wanted to show Batista like um
Yeah, I don't know. It's like he was trying to capture like an atmospheric tone without doing any of the legwork for it, if that makes sense. Like I feel like he was trying to make it creepy, but like
yeah.
you can't just start a movie with that and nothing else and have it work, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Um and I just felt like the tone of the movie didn't really fit at least like what people I actually haven't read the book it was based on yet, but based on the book and the way people describe the book, the movie was not in the same tone as the way people describe the book being.
What was the tone of the book?
I don't know, just like well, I don't really know. It just feels that way, like retrospectively, I guess I should say. Is that the word I'm looking for? Like looking back on it after I've seen the movie, because I didn't even know it was like based on the book until afterwards. But then I watched some people talk about it, and it
Yeah.
just seems like I don't know. He just
It,
was going for his normal M. Night Shyamalan tone, but it
yeah.
kind of like missed the mark with that movie.
Did you hear that car alarm, by the way?
No.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure that you got that out. Okay. Yeah, no, the tone was off. Like, why was
Right.
Ron Weasley there? And like he died pretty
Yeah.
early on. And like the plot, like it was just so laborious. I remember in the way that it played out because it was like, we know they're telling the truth.
Yeah.
Like we gotta sit through Jonathan Groff and his partner like figuring it out. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's just I don't know. I hate like my least favorite thing is like when a movie has a premise and like we know it's a premise. We saw the trailer, we saw the commercials, we saw the previews for it. We know
Right.
what's gonna happen, but it takes so long to get to it. And it goes through that stage of like the characters being like, no, the premise isn't gonna happen. Like I hate that shit.
Is
Leave
that the
that
most
shit behind in 2007.
is that the most recent M. Night Shyamalan movie you've watched?
No,
Besides The
well,
Watchers, even though it's not really
is that his newest besides from Trap? Or I forget when
yeah.
Old came out.
I think that came out after Old.
Yeah, I think it did. So yes, I don't have much more to say about this movie. I saw it once, didn't retain much of it. Um, thought it was kind of bullsh,
Yeah.
and I remember hating the ending.
Yeah, I agree. The ending kind of sucked. I kind of like the ending of Leave the World Behind more because it's like a similar movie.
I actually loved Leave the World Behind.
You did? A lot of people hated
You're just like you did.
it.
Um,
Yeah. It's like what the fuck?
I know, like a lot of people shit on it. Like I think it's really. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I get why people complained about the ending because it was just kind of like okay, like that was absolutely in the middle of the story, but all right.
Right.
Uh, but no, I get it. I get it. I liked it a lot.
Um, do you want to know what's on my bottom list?
Yeah. What's your first on your bottom list?
Well, I actually
I'm
have
so nervous.
I have two ranked at the last. Well, it's not the ones these. I don't hate these as much as I hated Trap, but these
Wait,
are just bad movies.
Trap is your bottom one. So you just spoiled it. Okay, so
Uh,
Trap is on your bottom list. So let's talk
yeah.
about Trap.
Well, I have. Okay. I'll talk about Trap. Trap is my most hated one out of the
It
list.
is just to confirm. It is on your bottom three list, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about Trap. Let's hear about it.
Um, I don't even think it's as bad of a movie as some of the other ones overall, but I felt like he thought that the audience was too stupid to understand the movie. And it's like so mediocre that like any layman can understand it. And I
By
just
the
like,
way, don't spoil it. Anyway, sorry, I just
oh
want to
yeah,
clear that
I mean, why? Like, just don't even watch it. It sucks.
because I want to see it.
I know you're probably gonna like love it, but
Convince me that it sucks. Convince
okay,
me.
all right. Josh Hartnett, what's up with him? What
I
is
don't
up with
know.
that?
I don't know.
Um, well, the movie itself is. I actually went into it really not knowing anything, but I knew it was like going to be something about like a concert happening or something, and that's kind of like what it's about. It's like this concert that's happening, and then Josh Hartnett's character is like a dad, and he took his daughter to the concert, but it turns out, and this is in the trailer, so it's not really a spoiler, but
Yeah.
the Josh Hartnett's like a bad guy, and he's trapped inside of the concert venue, and he has to find a way out. And that's like literally like that's like what they build it as in the trailer, I guess.
By the way, speaking of Dave Bautista and the weird framing around that, like in the trailer, like that guy at the concession stand, like info dumping, like what the premise of the movie is, and like staring directly at the camera. What is up with that, M Night? Like, what are we doing there? Do you know what I'm talking
Exactly.
about?
Yes, and that's one of the things I hated about the movie because they have that scene in the movie, and it it felt so lazy. Like it felt so lazy, and on top of it, like the movie is just not that good.
I
I
I
guess I won't
want
spoil it, but
I want to know what he thinks he's accomplishing with that framing in that shot. Like, does he think that that is tense? Like, does he think that that builds tension?
exactly. And you'll like I can talk about this more on my favorites list, but like the movies that I thought he did good at like directing, he doesn't do that kind of stuff, and he doesn't really like info dump or expository dial like a crazy amount where this one it's like it's just that the whole movie, and it's just really not great. And also Josh Hartnett, crazy acting, like and I don't mean in a good way. I mean like, what the hell was he thinking? It felt like he was, in my opinion, phoning it in the way like Matt Damon does for a role now, where he just takes cameo roles and just like goes wherever he's just gonna get paid the most for like 5 seconds. But they had him in the whole movie, and he's just like phoning it in, like. And I think it's because M. Night Shyamalan was probably directing him to do that, but I don't know. He just, what is with him? The movie was just so bad. It felt like he thought that everyone was dumb, like that this was going to be some crazy like movie. It felt more of like a, here is my daughter and she's a singer. Here's like a whole, here's all of her songs. We're gonna play every song she's like ever written in the movie, and
Wait, does his daughter's her, the pop star?
yeah, and it's like her songs.
And she directed The Watchers?
No, that's a different one of his daughters,
Oh
actually.
man.
He has like
Yeah.
6 daughters.
Wow, and they're all talented.
Well, that's debatable, but
Well, honestly, like I don't know.
she's not a bad singer.
I want to see it, and it goes back to what I said before. Like his premises, despite the fact that they almost never pan out well, like I like his premises, and like
Yeah.
I know there's gonna be capital S some shit, and I just want to know what it is.
Oh no, I totally understand, because I was like, oh, trap. This sounds like a cool idea. This guy's trapped at like a thing, and he has to figure out how to get out. And they could have gone so many like way better directions, and they just chose like the most boring,
Yeah,
like in your face with expository dialogue way to get through this mediocre like cop thriller. And it's just like, we've seen these kind of movies before, so you're not really doing anything with it. And I thought he was going to try to like do some crazy thing, but it just was not that good. And I just thought, I was mad because I thought that he like really, I felt like he was treating me like I was dumb when I was watching it personally.
well, just kidding.
And I wrote like a 5 paragraph essay like shitting all over it on Letterboxd.
Oh my god, I bet you called Josh Hartnett a meme,
No, I didn't say that.
and you were just like, this movie shouldn't have existed.
I might have said that. And I might have said
Big
that he was
flashbacks.
horrible. Yeah. I did call him out for being horrible. Because like, what is Josh Hartnett doing, bro? Don't phone it in. We know better than that.
I'm speechless. I don't know what to say.
All right.
Can I have a minute? No, I'm just kidding. Okay. All right. Do you want to go to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's one that I suspect is going to be on your bottom list. Okay.
I don't know.
The Happening.
Oh, I forgot about that movie. No, I didn't add that.
It's not on the. Okay. Well, I knew it wasn't going to be on your top list. Let's keep this brief. It probably is objectively his worst. It's embarrassing. Why? And listen, I don't even know if this is factual, but I'm not going to look it up because this is just what I perceive as what happened in the movie. Why are Zoe Deschanel and Mark Wahlberg love interests?
Why is Mark Wahlberg, period? Like, what is
How
he doing anymore?
how dare you?
He just, his existence is something else to me.
My only personal connection with this fuck ass movie is that my old roommate, one of my best friends, is actually in the movie. He's like an extra as like one of the zombies or like undead, whatever they are in this one.
Right.
And you see him like pretty prominently in like an extended shot at some point. And he said something to me. He was telling me about like being on the set of that movie, and he was just like, "Yeah, I could just tell it was gonna be bad just from being on the set."
It it I the premise of that one is another one that I like the premise of, and I like kind of like the opening of the movie until you just like get into Mark Wahlberg's like backstory in his life and following him around.
Isn't the twist, and like forgive me because I haven't seen this movie for like 7 years, but like isn't the twist that like people got sick because plants were mad and like trees were mad?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
They were mad AF that we needed to make paper and cut them
Right.
down. So that's that. what's your what's your next one? Your
Um,
next one.
okay.
I'm nervous.
The next one is Glass on my list.
That's my third bottom one. Thank God.
And I totally forgot about The Happening, or that would have probably beat it out for that spot.
Glass, I think, is my bottom.
Um, I didn't. Well, I just the whole. I just feel like they should never have made a sequel to Unbreakable, and
I
it's
know what your
just
top three is, by the way.
how
That was the last piece I needed. I'm gonna say it after this, but go on.
I just don't know why they made a sequel to Unbreakable, and the fact that it ended the way it did, and I guess I won't really get into spoilers, but
You know what? No, let's get into spoilers because the ending for it's like 5 years old. The ending is particularly terrible for this one. We need to talk about it.
didn't Bruce Willis's character like die in a puddle or
He
something? Like
died
he
in a puddle.
fell. He's
And not just any puddle, in some random ass parking lot.
Yeah, after spending 2 movies like being unbreakable.
I guess he could drown. I think to be fair, like that makes sense. Like X-Men did it for Wolverine or however that works.
But in the first, well, I guess we can get into that. But in the first one, he literally like there was like a whole scene of him like in a like in a pool like under a tarp and surviving. So I don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't really get the continuity like wasn't even really there.
For me, it wasn't even the fact that he drowned. I accepted that. For me, it was the fact that it was a puddle.
Right,
It was
exactly. Yeah,
it was a puddle. It
yeah.
was a puddle in a random parking lot. Like, and
It felt.
I love
Yeah. No, what were you gonna say?
I love that the movie like it specifically like went outside of its way to like be like you see that tall glass building that could be like a cool set for like a set piece.
Yeah.
We're headed there, and then they never made it there. They
Yeah.
only made it to the parking lot, and that's where like 45 minutes of the movie took place. That's probably really wrong, but like
Yeah.
that's what it is in my head.
Yeah.
And
I
it
actually
had a
agree.
fight. It had a fight in a parking lot. It was in a parking lot. It was in a parking lot, and he died in a puddle in the parking lot. And that's cinema.
And that's cinema. Um, it felt like more like they were trying to go for the aesthetics more than anything else. Like they filmed it like literally in Allentown State Hospital with like the pink room. In fact, they
Yeah.
actually painted. I don't even know if you know this, but they painted another. There is a pink room in the Allentown State Hospital, but they actually ended up painting another room there pink because it didn't match like the exact pink they wanted for the movie or something.
Well, I actually did know that. You want to know why? Because I know someone who worked on this movie too. He was on the crew, and he told me that exact anecdote.
Yeah, well, I learned it from urbexers. How
Uh,
about
it.
that? Just kidding. I actually wanted to go there to that building when they before they demolished it, but they demolished it.
They probably because of
So,
a freaking movie.
but yeah, that movie was just it just was so unnecessary and didn't need to exist.
And you know what? It actually, I remember legitimately enjoying it for like the first half or so. I remember like the first half, I was like, why did people hate this? This is actually really good. Because I think,
Right.
as I recall, it did a good job of building up tension between the three main characters who, like, obviously, like James McAvoy, Split had his own movie to set that up. And obviously, like Unbreakable had Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson. There was a really interesting dynamic between them, and I can't remember what it was, but I liked there were like power dynamics between them. I feel, and like setting up whatever the plan was. I don't remember. I just remember like the first 90 minutes or so really liking it and being like, "There's no way he messes this up," and then it just disintegrates in a way that none of his movies ever have.
Yeah, true.
It
I definitely agree.
disintegrated.
Like
Yeah.
what? Like what was he thinking? Honestly, and I want to say that your last movie on your hatred list is gonna be old. I'm just guessing, but
Well, no, that I had my three because this was my last one.
oh right, okay, okay.
Well, old was I think the honorable mention. No, actually, sorry, the Last Airbender was the honorable mention, and the reason I didn't put that on the bottom is just because I just don't remember it at all.
Well, I didn't realize this, but After Earth was directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Moment of silence. Moment of
And
silence for that one.
I totally didn't realize it. And honestly, we don't even have to go into that movie because I don't really remember it. I just remember hating it. Absolutely, like I thought that was like one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and that is on the list.
Okay, so that's your third one. Yeah.
And I have it tied with The Last Airbender.
Oh, so those. What are you talking about? That's four.
Yeah, but I just made like the last one just tied. Like I hate them the same.
That's literally cheating. Okay. Bottom four then.
And I had an honorable mention. I had a bottom five.
Wait, which one was five? Sorry.
Knock at the Cabin.
Right. Okay. So wait. Do you want to talk about After Earth or Last Airbender? What were your bottom? Why did I forget?
They were just horrible. They were just like some of the worst movies that have ever been created to date,
Oh,
especially After.
yeah.
Will Smith, Jaden Smith, absolutely not. Like that shouldn't exist.
I actually never saw After Earth, but do you remember like that really weird? I want to say 2011 to 12 when like Jaden Smith like almost became a celebrity,
Right.
and then like he was just was it Twitter? Like he was just tweeting like the most obnoxious like things you've ever seen.
Isn't he like kind of still a celebrity?
Not in my bubble. Thank God for that.
Right.
Not protecting my peace right now.
Well,
I
should
just
be
remember
what are
like
you
he just had like the most pretentious like tweets of all time. I think is all that it was, and like I hated it in my head that meant everyone hated it, but maybe I'm just like making it up.
I mean, I don't doubt it. He was like best friends with Justin Bieber then,
Yeah,
so yeah. They were probably just being menaces.
because he was like he tweeted he was like I'm like a once in a generation talent or whatever, and then he releases After Earth.
Yeah. Like, are you kidding?
Yeah, it was rough. So
Should we move on to our top favorite?
wait, I'm sorry, I literally have the memory span of a goldfish. So your bottom one was After Earth tied with what?
Well, the one I hate the most is Trap. But
Okay,
I accidentally leaked that information
I
after the
know.
conversation.
So what was tied with After Earth? Tell me.
Oh, The Last Airbender.
Okay. Whew. Do you want to talk about that?
No, we could just skip that movie. That might be
Yeah. Okay. Top. Top. Should I go first?
Sure.
Split.
Of course. You just like James McAvoy.
By the way, I know your top three already.
Yeah, do you though?
Your top three is The Sixth Sense, Signs, and Unbreakable.
Yeah. And I'm adding Split currently to my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't really, check.
Yeah. No, I clocked it. I feel like no shade, but that's like just the most common of the
Actually, let's be real here. No one was no. Wait. I have to defend my stance here because Unbreakable, no one was talking about that until everyone just like decided it was good. And like whenever they made Glass, like 2016, they were just like everyone was like, oh, we like this movie now, so they decided to make a sequel. Like
That's true. Yeah,
but
I didn't
I
really.
liked it since I was a young kid. Like, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about Unbreakable.
Well, OG, one of the first VHS tapes I ever had. So good. Love it. Love a Bruce Willis,
What year did it come out? Let me.
like 2000 or something.
2000, damn, okay. That's crazy.
Um, but I thought it was a good one, and when I was younger, I didn't realize it was like a superhero-y movie until I was older. Like I didn't realize that for some reason because it felt so grounded. Like, and that's what I actually like about the movie. It feels really grounded in reality, and I also like when I realized that when I came to know that it was actually, like a superhero, like they're kind of like superheroes, I was like, oh, this is cool. This is like an original take on the comic book superhero genre.
Is it based on a comic book?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just like his own, like he made up this entire story,
Yeah.
which I think is cool. And it's like taking on, the Marvel universe, which you think like saved cinema or something. I don't know. It's like the worst thing that's ever been created, but
It did kind of save theaters during the pandemic.
and those were the worst ones that came out. But
Yeah, it did, like, quality wise, it did tank. Like exactly when COVID hit.
yeah,
Um,
I'm just not a huge fan. I don't know, but I thought this one was like way more grounded. And Samuel L. Jackson, how can you not like Samuel L. Jackson?
yeah, I would rank this like around fifth or sixth, I think,
Right.
overall. I remember like it's so much build up to him becoming like the superhero, and then like he barely does anything in the movie.
Right.
Like he spends the whole time like figuring his shit out, and like it's cool, it's mysterious, but
Yeah.
I just felt like I was waiting for more. And then like I do at the end, like he goes into someone. I just remember him like going in through a window,
Yeah.
and like I forget like what does he do at the end? Like does he
He was
kill
like
someone?
fighting like this bad guy, and then they like end up like in a pool at the end, like
Yeah,
flying through the window out into a pool.
it was just it was so much build up for that. You know what I mean? I just remember being like,
Right.
that's it, like that's it, and it felt like there should have been a sequel.
Right. I was kind of glad that they never did one. But me and you had different childhoods, and I was like raised on like Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson action movies, so I guess that's my bias.
What was I raised on? Barney.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was like watching like Saving Private Ryan probably while you
And I
were
was
like
still
in
watching
the
fucking
womb,
Dora in the womb. You're like
you know.
3 months older than me.
You know?
um, yeah, no, it's a good one though. Like I did like it, um, but I was never like excited. Like it felt like an origin story, which like it obviously like 20 years later it turned out that it was. But like so much build up
Yeah.
for we just never got the payoff. Like not even in the first movie, not even in Glass. Like I already said, like just never got that payoff for me.
Did we even talk about Split?
No.
Like,
Split's good. I like Split more than Unbreakable because I don't know. It just feels like a more like a full experience. Like
right.
I see the rise, like just payoff, whatever.
Right.
Um, I like James McAvoy obviously, and like he plays how many different roles in this movie.
Yeah, true.
He plays like an old British lady, like hilariously, and like it's used like really well to like good effects. Like he plays a bunch of different roles, but like and they're all like pretty distinct, but they're also like so insane in like a very like similar and distinct way.
Right.
Yeah, it's basically it. Like he gave a good performance, which everyone says, and then also like what is it, Anya? Is her name Anya Taylor Joy?
Yeah.
I just like forget what her name is, but she was really good there. That was one of the first movies that I saw her in, and like was that like her first leading role or like one of them?
That's a good question. It might be. Actually,
Yeah,
yeah, I think so.
like it birthed her as a leading woman, which is like great because she's one of my favorites now, and she's always great, and she has such a weird, interesting face that she knows and she uses so well.
Have
And This
Have
movie
you
was
seen the Last Night at Soho?
no, it's been on my list for like ever since it came out.
You should watch it.
Is
You
it
should
good?
probably
Because
watch
I
it.
heard it's kind of garbage.
Well, I remember like being not blown away, but I kind of want to revisit it because we have it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Certain
I've been
filmmaking's
wanting to watch it.
good.
I saw the trailer and I was like, oh my god, that looks amazing. I got to see it. And then like I just never got around to it. I don't know. It was
And
weird.
by the way, Anya Taylor-Joy's first really breakout movie was The Witch by Robert Eggers in 2015.
Oh yeah, you're freaking right. You're right. You're right. You got me. What can I say? When
And
you're right,
then
right.
Split came after, but yeah, it was good.
I did. I recently rewatched The Witch. By recently, I mean like about a year ago, but even better than I remembered.
Yeah, I'm excited for Nosferatu.
When does that come out?
Like, I don't know, Christmas Day probably.
Really? That's like the last movie I'm excited for. I completely forgot that was coming out actually. What movies are coming out, by the way? Just to completely derail the conversation, but like what is there to be excited about?
I don't know, maybe Terrifier 3. Hello.
I'm not seeing that. Not for
What?
me.
What? What?
Not for me. It took me like literally 5 hours to get there. Just a real gun. By the way, we are in the same room in case people were wondering. We're just on the opposite ends of a very long room. So he really could have shot me there
It's a comically long room.
with different lighting. Um, but under the table, actually, like our toes are intertwined, like we're holding hands.
Right. We're just 9 feet tall.
I know, we're actually so close.
Um,
Um, wait. What was I say? Um, what movie is there to look forward to?
um, well, I'm excited about Terrifier 3.
Oh yeah, it took me 5 hours to watch that fuck ass movie. It's not bad.
Terrifier
Like
2?
I, I never even saw the second one. Um, it's just not for me. Like I just don't like that kind of like gore. I like the scene where they're in like the
No.
restaurant at the beginning and he's like being creepy. Like
Right.
I respect it. It's not bad. It's good. I respect that it's like built like this legacy around it, for being an indie movie. But
Ooh, there's a movie coming out called The Substance with Demi Moore. We're probably gonna see it when the film festival comes here.
nice. I have heard of
Um,
that one.
and I wasn't too excited for it, but everyone's been saying it's like one of the best of the year.
Oh really?
So I want to check it out.
I honestly never thought about Demi Moore.
And also there is a movie by the guy who did the Florida Project. Right. It's called Honora, but that movie, I don't know. I saw a podcast that Ashley and I watch, and they were thinking that the main girl, Mikey Madison, is probably going to be up for an Oscar for that movie. So that is
Nice.
like on like, just putting it on your radar. Putting it on your radar.
Wait, The Substance is actually playing near me.
Like right
Like
now.
now. Like now.
Okay, well, I'm jealous because I have to
But
wait until
there's only like two screening times,
right.
and they both started at 7:30. They both started 20 minutes ago. If I
Right.
run, I can make it. Just kidding.
Right.
Imagine just run.
You just leave. You just take
No,
your
but that's
phone
cool.
and you film in there.
I'll check it out because yeah, literally at this point, I'm like, all right, Law
What
Mode
else
came
is going
out.
on?
What's next?
Have you seen Cuckoo?
Let's move on. I'm
Oh,
just kidding. No, I haven't. There's no specific reason why. I just felt like throwing shade for like 0 reason.
you might like
Um,
that movie. It has Hunter Schafer in it.
I do like Hunter Schafer from the little I've seen of her.
And it's
Yeah, I
not
don't
like
know.
it's not your it's like a horror movie, but it's not typical. I actually really liked it because it was it was like different than what I was expecting.
Yeah. Oh, I kind of want to see Speak No Evil. Speaking of James McAvoy,
Um, yeah.
let's move on. You're just like okay. Anyway. Two movies left. Three, I think, actually. Let's talk about The Sixth Sense because that's on both of our lists, and that's my first 5 out of 5 M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Right. When did you watch that? Like, did you watch that when you were a kid?
I watched some of it when I was a kid. I don't think I fully saw it as until like college,
All right.
and then I rewatched it like 2 times since then.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
But I was full even the first time that I fully sat down to watch it. I knew the twist. Everyone knows the twist. Snape kills Dumbledore. So
Right.
like even watching it with that perspective though, it was still great. It's still great. It still holds up.
Yeah. It's
And it's actually hilariously obvious. Like the twist is hilariously obvious in retrospect.
and it's like so it's been parodied for so many times. Like
Yeah.
Scary Movie literally did it like multiple times in multiple movies.
And the great like it's not only good because of the twist. Obviously, like the
Yeah.
whole thing is good. Like Bruce Willis is a really
Yeah.
good actor in it, and like has a compelling dynamic like with the kid.
True.
Um, it's
I
filmed in
agree.
Philly.
Right.
We love Philly.
Go Birds. Just
What
kidding.
makes
That
us
was
so
so
good?
cringe.
Yeah, can you just blur that out? Just beat that.
And do you think I'm gonna guess your other pick for your top?
You better. If you know anything about me, you know what it is.
I don't even know like what movies he even made.
You're not gonna get it, are you?
um, it's old.
No,
I
just
just
an old. Okay, wait. Let's talk about Signs first.
no. Let's talk about your movie first.
I
Thank you.
wanted to end on my movie because I have like a whole thing about it. I love it.
Okay. So Signs is a great movie. Obviously, there's not. I don't feel like there's like. Yeah, I don't
No,
think it's like I don't think there's like a crazy twist in it as like I mean, I haven't seen it in a while, so I'm not like 100% sure. Um, but I don't remember there being like a crazy twist. I just remember it being like the acting being so good in it from Joaquin Phoenix and the other characters, and it was really believable. And then they have like I guess like one of like the major jump scares that I feel like a lot of people that got a lot of people is in that movie. Like
yeah,
when you first see
the
like one of
first.
the aliens.
Which, by the way, I gotta say, has not aged well.
Yeah. It
It
looks
looks so
horrible
goofy
now.
now. We can't hold it against the movie, but it hasn't aged well.
But I think that the movie overall is pretty good. It's probably like one of the better like UFO alien movies that have come out.
I agree. I think the crop circles like is a really cool hook.
Right.
I think like it's just really good at like just building tension.
Yeah, true. That's kind
You
of like what I
know,
was getting at.
like this is what he does when he has a concept and executes it well. Like you can, he just can't build tension anymore for whatever reason, and it feels like this is kind of like the benchmark that he set for himself that he's never been able to replicate,
Yeah.
pull it off
And
again.
I thought like even movies like The Village were pretty good that he did like the attention for. Is that your top?
Speaking of, The
Right.
Village is literally one of my favorite movies of all time. All time.
All time.
I literally dress up like the creature from the village and run around the streets of Philly like at night just because I love the movie that much. I think,
Right.
listen, maybe a hot take. That red creature that's in the forest is the best monster design in cinema.
Let's just move on from that. Just
you
kidding.
just leave the call.
No, I'm just joking.
Disagree with me. Fight me about it. What's bad? How is it not the? It's got the spikes. It's got like the hump. It's got like the red. The red is used so effectively against like the monochrome backdrop of everything.
Well, what
And
about
plus,
like the alien design in Alien, or like the Thing,
I knew you're gonna freaking say
or
that.
like even Ghoulies? Like, come on, get with it. Hello.
Well, I don't like them as much. So,
You need to brush up on your '80s
and
history.
literally,
We did.
no, I don't.
We should do an '80s horror movie deep dive, so you can
It's
actually learn some things about
boring.
cinema.
Bitch, I've seen these movies.
No,
Okay, I just like The Village more. What are you freaking talking about? No,
I can probably name so many good ones that you haven't seen that you probably just never even thought of like being good.
honestly, I'm sure you could.
They're like sleeper hits. Just saying.
Let
Just
me
saying.
have this. Let me. Okay, listen. I know it. I know it's a ridiculous hyperbole to say it's the best monster in all of cinema. It's the best monster in all of cinema to me,
Just end the
and
call.
you can't argue with that. You can't argue.
Oh my
Um,
god.
I don't know. It just I saw it in theaters for some reason. Like I barely saw any movies in theaters, but like The Village, like
Right.
PG-13. What year did this movie come out? Me and my brothers, we were like children. Looking at these
2001?
movies. Which
2002?
2004, which would
Oh,
make me 10, which
right.
would make my little brother 7, and you saw The Village in theaters. Um, I don't know, like, fine. If you want to say it's just childhood nostalgia, say it. Say it. Say you
Well,
hate.
no, it's
Say
it's
you don't
definitely
respect
good.
my opinion. No, I'm just kidding.
You
I'm just
like
like
every day.
fully spiraling. um,
No, it's definitely a good movie. I think the tension works, like the tension building works, and I think like the payoff is there.
Beautiful tension. Beautiful dynamic between like what's her fucking face, Bryce Dallas Howard and Joaquin Phoenix. When she announces that she's gonna go in the woods, a blind girl, Blue Ivy, in the woods with the monster, like I stood up
Wait,
and cheered. I threw my
what?
popcorn.
Okay, wait. What do you think? Because I just thought of this thought. I just thought of this thought. Do you think that this movie was his downfall?
No, in what way?
Because every single movie since like I mean I technically we probably could say it's about the Sixth Sense, but every single one of his movies, everyone's expecting some crazy twist. So when he doesn't
Right.
deliver a twist, like he's known as the guy that does twists, and like The Village has one of
Mm.
the best ones. And then like how do you follow that up? It's just like you just keep making movies like Old and like fucking
Yeah.
Dog at the Cabin.
Well,
And
I don't know. By that logic, I'd say The Sixth Sense is
yeah,
his downfall because, like, that's obviously like I think that's his best twist. That's his most famous twist. The
right,
Village was arguably the one single time he's been able to then live up to it after that.
right,
But also, I feel like it was a movie constructed around the twist.
right.
You know, like
True,
I feel like he started twist first and then reverse engineered the plot of it. I don't know. I'm
true.
just purely guessing, but that's what I would say.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Like I think like Lady in the Water came next. There was a time where Lady in the Water was at the top of my list. Now it's somewhere in the middle. Because it's sloppy. It's really poorly executed. Um, but it had like the crazy premise and like I don't know how to make Lady in the Water good, but if you tweak a little, there's a good movie there. If you
Right.
executed better than he did, I haven't seen it in years, so I don't know how. There's a good movie somewhere in there. Is all I think about that. Um,
Yeah.
but
I
yeah, what was I even talking about?
agree. I
Anyway,
think that movie works. And I honestly I do think it's like probably one of his like last like really good movies.
yeah, and I feel like people hate it. I feel like for a lot of people, it was the beginning of maybe his downfall because I feel like a lot of people considered it a bad movie,
Right.
which is cray to me.
Yeah, I do think it works. I actually maybe Ashley and I will revisit that movie.
I want to
Check it
watch it again.
out. I think you should check out Last Night in Soho, by the way.
I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch Lady in the Water. Just kidding.
Right.
Maybe not. I'm writing it down. Last Night in Soho. I wonder what it's on.
Terrifier 2. Terrifier 2.
I'm never gonna watch it. Listen, I'm not gonna enjoy it.
I'm just joking. Last Night in Soho, I think it might be on Netflix, by the way. I don't quote me on that, but I think it potentially is on Netflix.
Don't have it.
Right, me either.
I'm cool. I'm badass for not having
Right.
Netflix.
Do you still have Peacock or like whatever you were paying for?
Yeah, I have Peacock. Well, Peacock was $20 for a whole year, so I was like, whatever, I'll pay it. I have
Right.
basically everything except for Netflix, and as soon as Disney Plus locks me out of my cousin's Disney Plus account, I'll no longer have that, but
Right.
whatever. But I have
Um,
basically like every other major one.
well, how should we wrap up our little M. Night Shyamalan discussion?
By admitting that The Village is his best movie.
I think The Watchers is his best. Oh, actually, have you seen Wayward Pines, the TV show?
I saw like a couple episodes, and I was like,
I
they're
I
not going to pull it
actually
off.
I didn't hate them. I didn't hate the show. I mean, I think it went for 2 seasons, and the second season kind of sucked. But the first season wasn't bad, in my opinion.
You
And he
know
did
what
like most of
show?
that.
Oh, he did?
I think so.
I never knew that actually. Now that kind of makes me want to check it out. Even after I just spent 80 hours on this podcast just shitting on him, you're like, he worked on the show. And I'm like, ooh, what's wrong with me?
You are a real critic.
I'm a former critic.
You're bringing back the criticness. The critic.
A
The
real critic would have been like, well, M. Night Shyamalan's framework makes me hate him, and I'm like, I acknowledge his shortcomings. Still gonna simp for him.
Right. You're like, next
M. Night
movie, I'm
Shyamalan,
seeing it.
put me in your next movie. Put me in the writer's room. I won't make it better. I'll probably make it worse, but put me in there
Right.
because I want it.
Should we just title the episode M. Night Shyamalan put us in your writer's room?
Yeah.
And it's just us shitting all over his movies.
M. Night, we love you. We love you.
Right.
Give us a job. All right. Bye.
Bye.